Your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of skycams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts here, along with you for the ride this evening as we talk about the weather that's going on out there. Just waiting a few minutes here for some folks to join us, and then we'll talk about what's going on with our weather. Just give me a second here. I'm going to try to share this on my Facebook page for some of you in case you're joining us. But I hope you're having a good evening so far. Hey, Melissa Price, good evening to you. How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening so far. Give me just a second here. All right, I think I've got us all set up now, so we can talk about the weather. Give me 1 second. All right. Hope you're having a good evening, everybody. Dave Roberts here. Thanks for joining us. Hey, we got Janice Smith. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. I found a shower and then it quickly disappeared. Very disappointing out there. Rest of the area is pretty quiet. There's not much going on. It's unfortunate. Let me show you the regional view here, and you could see there's just not much going on. We had a couple showers over Pearl. Maybe you missed it. You could see Rankin County had a few showers. Clinton had a shower briefly. I'm trying to zoom out here, see if I can find any other showers right now, but it looks pretty quiet out there this evening. So if you get some rain, consider yourself lucky. That's the story out there right now. We just don't have a lot of instability in the atmosphere. In fact, we have the opposite. We have dry air, and that dry air is really preventing any kind of showers from developing out there right now. So if you're in Rankin County, you had a brief heavy shower that's near Country Place and Whitfield Road. But otherwise, here's what we're tracking for you. Through this weekend, it's going to be hot, muggy. There'll be a few showers around. But as far as next week, slightly better rain chances will return. Now, slightly better. We're not talking about a lot of rain by any means. And then when it comes to the tropics, plenty of weather going on in the tropics, but not close to home. We're dealing with an interesting weather pattern, and I'll talk about that in a second. First off, over our area right now, high pressure is in control. We see that quite a bit during the summertime months. It gives us the cooler weather. It gives us the cooler temperatures. You know the drill. But as far as the actual temperatures go, it's quite warm out there. It's 91 degrees in Jackson. We were 97 this afternoon. That is 10 degrees above normal. There's a little bit of a disturbance in Arkansas, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to help us out. So our temperatures will remain warm, if not hot, as we go through this weekend. The new drought report is up, and you could see We have moderate drought conditions across the lower delta. We have dry conditions elsewhere, but anything in between is kind of so-so right now. And the drought report really didn't change much from last week. As far as rainfall, this is where things are really disappointing. We're 2 inches below normal, at least on rainfall. By next week, we may be about 3 inches or more below normal rainfall. That's going to be a real problem. And that drought report will get worse, I feel, by the time we get to next week, unless we get some significant rainfall popping up between now and then. Now, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, there'll be a few showers around, but that's it. I'm not expecting any widespread rain. And then through the weekend, it's going to be mainly scattered showers out there. In fact, I was looking at these forecast models. These are what we call our hyper local models, and they take a look at what's going to happen over the near term. And over the next 48 hours, unfortunately, only one of the models shows anything. Now, if we get 3/4 of an inch of rain, hey, that would be great. I would love that. But I'm not so sure that's going to happen. The one thing that is for sure is while it's relatively comfy in the humidity section, and let's be careful when we say comfy, but it's normal. It's not out of control. We do expect it to become muggy or tropical going into next week, the middle of next week, as a matter of fact. So rain chances go up, a 40% chance for rain Tuesday or Wednesday. And you could see that there. And then as far as rainfall is concerned, about an inch of rain or less, 1/4 of an inch from one of our models, about 3/4 of an inch from another one. That's still not enough, but hey, it's better than the situation we're dealing with now. What we really need would be some widespread rainfall, and we're just not seeing it at this point in time. 14-day temperature outlook looks like this. Warmer than normal. That's what this map shows. It doesn't indicate necessarily warm temperatures. It just shows warmer than normal temperatures, and much of the country is going to be in the same boat, including us. So yes, it's going to get a little bit cooler next week, but it's not going to get cool, but it'll get cooler. The normal high next week is about 86, 87. We'll be closer to that at least when we look at temperatures. In fact, closer to normal temperatures are expected. Take a look at this. We're talking about probably seeing anywhere in the upper 80s, maybe mid 80s after Monday. And Monday is significant because Monday is the official start of fall. So we'll be happy when that gets here for sure. Let's talk about the tropics now, and I'll tell you about the unusual weather that continues in the tropics. First, we've got Tropical Storm Gabrielle, which really isn't much of a system. It's going to continue to work its way across much of the Atlantic and really not have any impact on landfall. Closer to home, over the Gulf and the Caribbean, we've got these hostile winds that are continuing. And as a result, they're really preventing any kind of additional activity from forming. Now, if we can get some cool fronts going across the continental United States and add it to the mix, it's even more of a block when it comes to this weather. So that's certainly some good news. We are watching one area of disturbed weather in the Eastern Atlantic. And again, that's been the trend that we've been seeing so far for this hurricane season. Everything's in the Eastern Atlantic. The Eastern Atlantic is a typical place for tropical development, but everything that's forming there this season keeps turning out to sea, turning out to sea, turning out to sea. So it's been one of those seasons where everything's avoiding us, and we're not complaining about it, but that's also part of the reason why it's been so hot and dry around here too. So there's a counterweight to all of this. Remember the peak of hurricane season, technical peak just behind us. Here we are, we're getting into the middle of September, maybe end of September, and that's where we start to see activity come down a little bit. There is a plateau in October, so we could see a decent amount of activity spring up then. And then once we get beyond October, that's where things really start ramping down. November 30th is the end of hurricane season. Out there right now, a mixture of clouds and sun, more sun than clouds with earlier sunsets. This is the last week of 7 p.m. sunsets out there. So say goodbye to that. 97 was the high today. As I mentioned, that's 10 degrees above normal. And right now, we're still hanging in the 90s here in central Mississippi. Don't forget the free First Alert weather app. It's always there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to give you the latest weather information. 80s this evening, 70s overnight. We'll dip, and I mean dip, into the upper 60s by tomorrow morning, but that's about the best we can hope for. It'll be a muggy start to the day as most of that humidity is felt in the morning time. But as we go through the day, low 90s at noon, probably some mid 90s by the afternoon, and some scattered showers will be popping up, maybe a few more than today. Friday Night Football looks like this, mid 80s for the game start, our kickoff, and then we'll be in the 70s by the time you head home from the games. Here's your 7-day First Alert forecast. I'll expand this out to show you the 10-day here. Give me a second. And I really got to show this map because this gets everybody excited. So this shows you 90s through Monday. Monday's the start of fall. And then 80s thereafter, upper 80s. A better chance for rain Tuesday and Wednesday, which would be really nice. And then look at this map. This is where I'm going to leave up on the screen while we're all talking. The start of important days coming up. Fall, the state fair, Halloween, and Thanksgiving. All right. Now I can look at some of your comments as I move over to this computer. Say hi to Scott Williams. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Bertha Rance. Hope you're having a good evening as well. She says, I hope you're resting. I hope I'm resting too. But I'm not. I'm working. So that's the story there. Y'all have any questions for me? Questions, comments, suggestions, recipes? I'm open to it. We can talk about it. Or we don't have to. Maybe I left you speechless where I answered every question you could possibly have. Tony Wall, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. In case you missed my weather presentation, I'll sum it up for you real quickly. Basically, we are looking at a weekend that's going to be hot, the last weekend of summer. Next few days, really no change, mid-90s, only a slight chance for showers. And then when it comes to the beaches this weekend, maybe you want to go there, find temperatures a few degrees cooler. The water is going to be in the mid-80s, but otherwise it'll be in the upper 80s. And then as you can see here, your 10-day first alert forecast will be in the 80s next week. Overnight lows in the upper 60s, but cooler days are definitely ahead. Well, folks, if there's no questions, I appreciate you joining me this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you. And I'll be back on tonight on WLBT's 10 p.m. news. So I'll be looking for you there. We're going to be talking more about the tropics. I'll see if I can find any more showers that popped up today. But literally, I've been counting the amount of showers on one hand so far. Until then, you have a good evening. I really appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you soon. If you missed any of this, I'll leave it up on Facebook for you.